SBRForum's Inside the Lines is brought to you by Ladbrokes.
We are previewing Week 17 in the NFL here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Doug Upstone from sports-watch.com. Doug, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, Peter. It's great to be back. Winding up the end of the regular season in the NFL, and a number of handicappers at Sports Watch have had tremendous years. People should check that out and also take a look how we grade our plays. Besides the regular season, we do the playoffs completely separate. So find yourself a hot handicapper at the same time. Okay,
great. Yeah, and that is sports-watch.com, not sportswatch.com. All right, the first game that you chose to talk about, Jets at Bills. Now, this is one of these classic Week 17 games. You got two awful teams. Neither one of them has anything to play for. Problems all over the field. An average standard line where the home team's a field goal to 3.5 point home favorite. How do you handicap a game like this? What's the first thing you look for?
This tends to be pretty difficult to look at, and so what you're just trying to find is any edge that you can you can. And I basically have a list of questions that I've created for myself, over the years to try and figure something out. So in this case, for example, I would ask, has either team played well the last part of the season to give them a reason to want to continue to play hard to finish the season off?
Absolutely.
In this case, I think the answer is really easy. It's a definitive no for both teams.
Right.
Another one would be, has either head coach been able to keep the locker room and have the support of the players?
No.
Again, I would have to say no, since I think both these AFC East teams possibly are going to go in different directions when it comes to the head coach position.
Right.
Another one would be, does either team have a statistical edge on the field they can exploit? In this case, I think Buffalo does have that, since they rank 6th in rushing the ball at over 140 yards a game, while the Jets are 27th versus the run. Now, the Buffalo run defense is actually horrible, ranked last in the NFL this year, but Gang Green has lacked a running game all season except on rare occasions. And finally, the quarterback position, who has the edge? And Peter, as much as this pains me to say this, Ryan Fitzpatrick will be the best quarterback on the field this week, which says a great deal about both teams.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like you're leaning towards the Bills, which I guess I would lean towards as well, especially if they use this game to test out C.J. Spiller and really let him run all over the field. If C.J. Spiller has a huge game, I think the Bills cover easily. If the problem is, though, they also have no tight ends. Their starting tight end, their leading receiver got injured last game, then his backup got injured, and, are they really going to look for a quality tight end to sign for the last game of the year? I don't think so. I mean, they'll probably sign someone, but they're going to have a super one-dimensional offense. I mean, does that factor in at all?
Well, it does. I mean, obviously, the one player that's been disappointing for Buffalo, Chandler hasn't had a great year, even though he's, as you mentioned, the leading receiver. Right. But Steve Johnson really hasn't done the job for them either this year. So I think just overall Buffalo's been disappointing. But in reading some of the different blogs and websites about Buffalo, everything you read about is Chan Gailey, as at least verbally, is saying that this is an important game, and I think he knows it is because he's fighting for his job. So, there's been talk of, should Buffalo look to maybe take a look at Tavares Jackson? And honestly, I forget who their third-string quarterback is here at the moment. Mm-hmm. But, everybody knows, Tavares Jackson can't play. He's nothing more than a backup and, basically a poor man's Ryan Fitzpatrick. So to change quarterbacks would seem silly at this point because there's nothing to be gained. And, again, might be going in a different direction anyways.
Yeah, the Bills were decent against Tannehill last week, and now they're getting, almost, an easier rookie assignment. So, I'm thinking the same way. I'm thinking if C.J. Spiller explodes for a, multi-100-yard game, we might get a Bills cover here, although I'd really feel a lot more comfortable at 3.
And along with that, obviously this game will be nowhere near a sellout, but Buffalo has actually lost 6 straight to the Jets. And as you mentioned, having the home field advantage will mean something, at least, to the comfort of the players. And all those losses gives them a reason to want to play. Now, myself, I would suggest to wait and see on this game because this line opened up at -3 with Buffalo. And so I would see if it goes back down to that,
right,
or if not, if you like the Bills, I would suggest buy the half point Sunday morning to get the best value that you can out of this. And then if you're watching the game, the one thing to listen for is the noise that you'll hear in the background. because that'll be all the Jets players' cars running out in the parking lot so that after the game they can leave immediately, since this team gave up a long time ago.
Yeah, all right. I'm liking the Bills too. I think we got something here, Doug. Thanks.